Hi guys, Radhika here again. So my next video is on signs of narcissistic mother-in-laws. Now, I have been through this, and I'm sure a lot of Indian women also go through this, and maybe South Asian women as well. So actually, I have a whole theory on why women who are of a particular age, especially in the East Indian cultures, East Asian cultures, have this tendencies. Um, and I know this is a common topic because so many of my friends also face the same things. And the thing is that we have been taught to just go along with the flow, just go along with it. That's what we saw probably our mothers do. And our mothers are I mean, especially for me, my parents are very liberal. So they actually always tell me that first you have to do service to self and then service to others. So you can't treat yourself as secondary to others. You need to treat everyone equal. That includes everyone, including yourself. So I have a whole theory on why this is the case and why a particular generation behaves in a particular way. And I have a psychological theory for it, and I have a metaphysical theory for it. That is based on the chakras, on the chakra that you have in your body, like the seven chakra that you have. But for now, let's just keep this video for the signs that your mother-in-law might have narcissistic personality disorder. So a big sign, a big sign is to see how is her relationship with her husband. If they have a loving relationship, you as the daughter-in-law are pretty safe, I would say, because your mother-in-law is going to be busy with her husband, and that's a good thing. If they are together like that, and if they kind of like keep each other busy, that's really a good thing. um, Other than that, you can see how are, if your spouse has brothers and sisters, you can see how are the relationships that they have with their spouse, because that's a big indicator of how your mother-in-law is going to affect her children's relationships. So if you see like a child has already, her child has already had a divorce or something, you got to be aware, because that means something might be wrong. um, okay, so let's get to the signs. So one of the signs is that she will compete with the daughter-in-law and everything. So she has to prove that she is the de facto woman in her son's life. And this can also be a girl child. So it can also be like a narcissistic mom who is so attached to her girl child, and she wants to prove that she is better than the son-in-law. So in such cases, the things that they compete with will be a little bit different. So maybe a narcissistic mother with a daughter might compete with the son-in-law in decision making. So whatever decision the son-in-law makes, the narcissistic mother will try to say that, no, see, he made the wrong decision, he should have done this, and so and so. So a mother-in-law works both ways. It's also for like um, a son, a man might also have a narcissistic mother-in-law. So the daughter's mom might be the narcissist, or the daughter's dad. But this video is about mother-in-laws, so let's just talk about mother-in-law, because I see a lot of cases in which the girl's mother is actually trying to break up the girl's relationship, even, because you got to understand, it's not just that the a narcissistic mother-in-law is against um, a son-in-law or a daughter-in-law. They are not against anyone, really. They are just conflicted people, so they will go against anyone. If they are left alone, they will drive themselves crazy, because they need someone to, pick on and bully and do all that kind of stuff too. So basically, it could be either way. They would always try to prove that they are there for their child. So even after the marriage is their son or daughter is married, they will always kind of be in a competition with the spouse of the child and try to prove that I have your back more than your spouse has your back. So they will always try to like outdo the spouse in the department of, come to me as your safety net, and I have everything that you need, you don't need your spouse. And it's weird because even narcissistic moms will do it to narcissistic daughters as well. So really, it's not gender dependent, it's just a malfunctionality of the brain of the narcissist. Okay, then they will try to nitpick on everything that the spouse is doing. So if your narcissistic mother-in-law is staying with you, even if you're a man or a woman, they are going to nitpick on everything. So if it's a girl who has a narcissistic mother-in-law, the common topics, especially in Indian households, are cooking, because Indian women are supposed to know how to cook and they are supposed to keep the house running all the time. So the mother in law is going to try to prove that she can cook better than you, she can keep the house cleaner than you, she's going to go through your refrigerator, pick on all the choices that you have made, like the brand of the milk, the sugar that you're eating, whatever. If you're eating fruit, she will say, why don't you get these fruits? If you don't eat fruit, she's going to say, why don't you eat fruits? So basically there can be anything and everything is on topic. Then dressing. So if you are an Indian woman, your mother-in-law is going to like nitpick on everything that you wear. If it's a function, she's going to nitpick on the jewelry that you wear, she's going to criticize it, she's going to criticize your clothes, she's going to criticize your body type. So if you gain weight, she's going to try to tell you to lose weight. She's going to go on, if you wear glasses, she's going to tell you that something about glasses, that no one in her family wears glasses, whatever. If you have a disease, like if you are diabetic or if you have high blood pressure, she might go on like how no one in their family has any disease. So all these kind of things, and then she'll bring out the big guns, like how you were raised, your family background, say something nasty about your parents. So basically the narcissist is going to, and this works both ways again. So for a man, maybe not so much cooking and stuff in an Indian household, but if you're not Indian, then of course your mother-in-law can nitpick on your cooking and stuff if you do cook. But yeah, just nitpicking on basically anything that you do. It's just basically trying to push all your buttons to get you worked up. So that's their agenda. Actually, if you know their agenda, you are good. It's just that you have to know this beforehand before you deal with them. And at least for me, I did not have this clarity, and that's why I'm making these videos, so that if someone sees it, when you go into such a situation, you will have the clarity to keep your mind focused on what you want in life, other than be tangled in this web of narcissism. So yeah, so basically that's something that they will do. um, they will show absolute disregard to any opinion that you try to give, and it might be as small as what movie should we watch, or where should we go this weekend. So whatever you say is going to get disregarded. So save your breath, choose your battles. You don't have to get your opinion in everywhere. And basically once you know this thing, you will know that it's basically a waste of time. So yeah, so they will not listen to any opinion that you have, and they will try to make you feel like you simply exist in their space. Even though it's your house, you will be made to feel like you are simply existing, and you simply exist. Don't try to make your personality seen over here. No one gives a shit, and that's what they'll try to make you feel. So just be aware of all these things that they try to make you feel, because you will feel them, and if you internalize them, that's when the problem begins. So don't internalize it. Just see what they are trying to make you feel. Then if there are any guests, or if you have any visitors, or if you have family friends, they will act like they are the most loving person in the world. So the outsiders are never going to understand what they are doing to you. Only the big cases come out, right, where the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law has been, they have put like some, like the son-in-law is so in disarray that he leaves the house, or the daughter-in-law leaves the house, or like in India there are cases where they have killed the daughter-in-law even, or physical abuse. So basically such big things come out, but there's a lot of mental abuse going on in the world, and people don't pay attention to it because they are like, oh, it's not physical, so it's not abuse. And I've heard that a lot. I've heard it from people who were supposed to care for me, not my parents, but from this narcissistic clan. They say like, mental abuse is not abuse. They say it, but it is abuse, and we have to make people aware of this. Mental abuse is very real abuse. So, yeah, basically, they will try to prove to the world that they are the nicest person alive. And some people might see through this actually, because a lot of people kind of see through things and they would understand, but that's the thing with nice people, right? They don't say much. So they will keep quiet, but they will know what is happening. Um, Also, another tactic that narcissistic mother-in-laws use is they will praise everyone in their clan and kind of make the spouse as an outsider. So they keep on doing this subtly all the time. They keep on doing this. So they will praise their own sons and daughters. They will praise people of their family, and the spouse's family might actually be a, I mean, I'm not saying any family is better, but they might be really good people, but they are going to kind of just blow their own trumpet and kind of make it subtly everyone's mindset that our family is way better than your family. And this is a I have seen this pattern. It's just like egoism and trying to prove that you are great because you are not. So they're just trying to convince themselves, really. um, Okay. So, an example of this would be like, a very triggering example of this would be like, um, say you take very good care of your child, and say you take the child, say you have a habit, whenever you feed the child, you pick up your child, you take them out to the window, you show them around, and you make them eat so that they're distracted, and you can feed them that time. So, a narcissistic in law, what they would do is when guests come over, what they would say. So look at their mind. This is how their mind works. So they see that every day their daughter-in-law is doing this particular thing, right? It's a good thing, it's a cute thing, it's a nice, loving thing to do. Now, what they would do is when the guests come, they would praise their own daughter. Now, say the daughter in law and the daughter are living in the same house, and the narcissistic mother in law is seeing her daughter in law do this every day to her child, to the daughter in law's child. So, what the narcissistic mother in law will do when the relatives come or the visitors come, she will praise her daughter, and she will attribute this act that the daughter-in-law does of picking up the child and making him eat in a nice way. She will attribute this act to her daughter. So I have seen this happen. So she would say something like, oh, my daughter, like so and so, the child's name, he loves being with my daughter. And you know what my daughter does every day? She will take him to the window and she will feed him very lovingly. Now, you, as the daughter in law, you will see that, oh my god, this is what I do every day. And what my mother in law is doing is, when the guests have come, now she is attributing this thing that I do to her. And the intention behind this is, one, to hurt you, and two, to subliminally send you the message that whatever you are doing, I don't see it, I don't approve it, I don't appreciate it. Now, if you were to go into this mindset, you of what people care, of what people think about you would actually stop doing this loving act of feeding your son every day, because you will feel like no one gives a shit. That's what they want you to feel. They want you to feel like no one gives a shit. but you need to think of your intention. So when you are doing this act, the intent that you have, was it to show everyone that you're doing this? No. The intent that you had was to feed your son. So you keep that intent in your mind and let the narcissist say whatever they are saying. It really does not matter what the narcissist says, what the visitors think. All these things are really irrelevant. So you got to make that intention clear in your mind. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped in the narcissist's trap of, what people think, what the narcissist thinks, what are you doing, so and so. So this is an example. So this will give you a clear insight into the mind, into the twisted mind of the narcissist. How twisted a mind can be, how twisted a spirit and a soul can be. That they actually see something good and they attribute that quality to someone else, and how they are trying to affect your mind by doing such a thing. So yeah, this is an example that I had. Another thing that they will do is they will try to create a wedge between the spouse and their child, no matter what this gender of the child is. They will try to brainwash their child into thinking that the spouse is not good enough for them. It's she or he is not a good wife, a good husband, a good mother, a good father, so on and so forth. So they will always try to do this. They will always try to, put a doubt in the child's mind, that is your spouse really good enough? Are they a good father? Are they a good mother? They will point out all the flaws that the spouse has, because we all have flaws, none of us are flawless. But the narcissist will keep on repeating these flaws. So even if they are not that big, the spouse will get brainwashed into thinking that, oh my god, my spouse has such the child will get brainwashed into thinking, oh, my spouse has such big flaws. So that's what they do, they brainwash. Also, they will brainwash their child into thinking that their clan, their family, their culture, everything is like mine, ours. So they will keep saying this: our culture, our family, our background, our values, our sanskar, whatever they say, it's always going to be our, it's not, it's, so they are like limiting it, they are kind of gating it to, this is ours, and the spouse comes from a different family. So they are kind of like making this very apparent to their child again and again and again. And see, this works in very subtle ways. So it's not like the narcissist is going to come up one day and announce that I'm going to do this now. So the child will never understand, because as a child they are trained from their childhood to love their parent, and they don't know anything else. They have never questioned their parents' sanity, they have never questioned their parents' intention. If a child is very self-aware, that if the child is really in touch with the inner self, with source, they will feel that something is off in my parent. Even though it's my parent, something can be off in them, because after all, they're just humans. So parents are not supposed to be like, no bad, nothing ever, they can do no bad, nothing wrong can ever be done by them. I know these are the perceptions some children have about their parents, but these are just wrong perceptions, right? So it's just like a lack of understanding of human nature. So basically, these are some of the points that a narcissistic parent will do, uh, a narcissistic mother-in-law especially will do. So yeah, if you have a narcissistic mother-in-law, and if you have any other points that you want to share with people, and if you want to share your experiences, please do put them in the comments. Please like, share and subscribe. And that's it from me. I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thank you. Bye.